about circumpolar stars and ancient heaven myths in this presentation. So let me take the next slide. Okay, so you might have seen this in most of these royal symbols. So I was very curious about this double-headed mythical bird. You can find this double-headed mythical bird in most of Hindu Puranas. So as a part of Nasimha Avatar, we can find this bird as Gandaberunda. And then we can also find this kind of bird in Iran. They call it as Homa or Soma bird. So it is called as a bird of heaven. And then we can also find this as a symbolic representation of ancient Anatolian kingdom, Hittite Empire. And then we can also find this in Mesopotamia. They call it as Anu, the king of gods, and then it's accessing some kind of divine mushroom. It's called as mushroom of immortality. So it could be the apple or something like that. So it is accessing some kind of location. They call it as tree of life. So I was very curious, what's this bird all about? So it was something more related to heaven. So during my research, I just found this T-shaped pillar in Anatolia region of Turkey. So we can also find a kind of birds carved in T-shaped pillar. And then I was very curious that what is actually this they have carved in these stone-shaped T-pillars. So my curiosity led me to check the night sky of that time. So I tried Stellarium app. So using Stellarium app, we can just go back to any country and any location and look at the night sky of that time. So what you can see in right side is the night sky of that time, and then we can find the constellation like Draco, and then we can find a constellation of Cygnus. So you can find similar carvings in the T-shaped pillar. And then very important thing is it is a circular object present in T-shaped pillar, and then we can just find the pole star. So why this concept is important, because it has been later used in most of this religious and spiritual concept on this circumambulation. So let me show why this is important. Maybe I can show this in Stellarium app. So I'll just go to Stellarium app, and then what I have done is that I have chosen the location as Anatolia, Turkey. So this is where we find, and then we need to go back to night sky of 11,500 BC. So I'll just type. It's not taking minus. Okay, let me to go back, and then I try to go in summer solstice. Okay. So this is where okay. So I just use the equatorial grid. If I have not used the equatorial grid, I will not be able to find the pole star. So pole star is located somewhere near Vega, and then you can just find the same mythical bird here, Cygnus, and then Draco. So why this is important, because they actually circumpolate the pole star. So I'm just moving that hours, so you can just see it circles around the pole star. So this exactly is the concept of the ancient heaven. So Egyptologists call it as the indestructible stars, because this set of stars, right, they never set or rise. So what it does is that it just circles the pole star, and then this actually is a concept of ancient heaven. And then people thought that this is what something controlling the movement of all stars and all other planets. If I move back to zoom mode, you can just see sun here. And then as the ancient civilization observed the night sky, they just observed that all the planets, sun, moon, Jupiter, planets, everything is moved around this pole star. So this gave a concept for them that this is something ancient heaven for them. And then they started carving this in pillars, and then slowly the concept of God, religion, that got evolved later. So I'll just explain how that is happened. Okay, I'll just go back to slide. Okay, so maybe I'll come back to Indus Valley civilization, wherein you can just find a person by name Pashupati. So he's sitting in a yogic position, and then we have the set of animals carved in this Indus Valley Seal. So some could be like Taurus, some are like rhinoceros, some are Leo, and then some are elephant, and then someone you can find something like Aries. So again, it is shown as it is circumambulating the North Star. So what actually is this? That these are nothing but a zodiac of animals, what they have actually observed in the night sky. And then the concept of spirituality, if you particularly refer the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, they tell that you need to concentrate on the pole star to have the concentration of your mind. So this basically has supported in later spiritual or philosophical concept. And then you can just see the lord of animals called as Pashupati sitting in center, and then we have set of animals doing a circumambulation. So the same concept is nothing but axis mundi. You can also just expand the Pashupati seal, and then you can find multiple heads in him. And then same thing you can find also in lingam, so which has got multiple heads. So this is nothing but it is called a Shishumara planetary system or Kundalini chakra with set of circumpolar constellation moving around. So it later has supported in developing the Lingam cosmology, wherein the Taurus will be acting as Nandi as the sacred bull, and Draco normally we find this as a snake in Lingam, and then Kundalini chakra will be the cosmic union between Shiva and Shakti. Shakti can be the set of Kundalini, or maybe the location of Shiva. So this is what I supported in later religious concept. You can also find a similar thing in Roman, wherein we have this Orpheus with lyra. So Orpheus is sitting at center, and then he's using a musical instrument by named lyra. And then we also have a similar thing where Saraswati, goddess Saraswati, is using a similar kind of musical instrument. We call it as Veena. And then we have this zodiac moving around him. Okay, so the by this time you might have already got a clear picture that the pole star is changing, because the pole star was somewhere in Vega in 11,500 BCE, and then you have the pole star in Thuban in 3000 BC, and the current pole star is in Polaris. So basically, the Hindu Puranas, right? So they actually clearly capture the location of this pole star. Maybe if you refer the Brahmananda Purana, so it is telling that there is a creature by name Shushumar, so something like an dolphin or Draco, and then there is something called as Dhruva. Dhruva is nothing but a pole star in Hindu belief system. So they refer Dhruva Nakshatra as a pole star, and then they are telling that it is on the edge of the 14 star Draco constellation. So this is what they are referring, and then they also have captured the name of all the stars, and then basically they are referred as deities. So they are telling that Indra is in this location, Agni, the fire god, is in this location, and then they're just explaining that this is nothing but the circumpolar stars, or the location of heaven, basically called as Shushumara planetary system. So you can further find this clearly in 800 AD, wherein Adi Shankaracharya, who was a great scholar, philosopher, was given a commentary in Vishnu Sahasranam. So here he is telling that Dhruva is located in the tail end of the cluster called as Shushumara Chakra, and the god himself is stationed in the hub. He is nothing but Bhagwan Vishnu, and then basically you have the idol similar to the look and feel of Shushumara. And then the good thing is that they also have captured clearly on the Dhruvam survey Pradakshinam, that clearly indicates that Dhruva is the pole star, and then all the planets, and then basically stars were considered as deities. That is basically the constellation, and they're telling that all the sun, moon, stars, planets, they move around Dhruva, that is stationed in center. So we also have an Puranic reference wherein Dhruva is seated on Vishnu's lap. So you can just find all those things in Hindu Puranas. Okay. So to check the accuracy of Vishnu Purana, because the way Adi Shankaracharya has mentioned that Dhruva is located in tail end, this was possible only in 2800 BC, because as I mentioned that the current Dhruva is in end of Ursa Minor. So this was possible only when Dhruva was located in the tail end of Shishmara, that is Draco. That was possibly only in Thuban. So maybe I'll just go back. and then just change the date here. I'll change to 2800 BC. So you can just see Dhruva, right? Dhruva Nakshatra, the pole star, is located on the tail end of the Shishumara, that is the constellation. So you can just see here. So again, all the other planetary system, Sun, Moon, is doing an circumambulation to central deity. Go back to slide. Okay. So this is what I'm just trying to explain using stellarium. Okay. And then the good thing is that what it's been transferred from generation to generation as slokas or stanzas. So it is being captured in Vedas. So if you refer Srimad Bhagavatam, so it is clearly telling that who is Virata Purusha, and then it is also telling that the head of Shishumara is downward, and then body appears like that of a coiled snake. So it is clearly giving explanation to people that where this Shishumara planetary system is located. So this actually supports the timing, or maybe the age when all these stanzas were constructed. For example, if you talk about Rig Veda, it does not talk about the Dhruva Nakshatra in tail end of Shishumara. It is mentioning at some other location. So maybe Vishnu Purana was composed somewhere around 2800 BCE, and then later we have the reference in Mahabharata, not at Thuban, so it is somewhere in between the Polaris and Thuban. So we can get a clear idea on the timing, or maybe the ages when this myths or the epics are composed. So this is what actually I was explaining. So why the pole star is changing is just because of Earth's axial precession. It's just like in spinning top, where just like in spinning top which rotates, it also does an precession. So when the precession is done, the north celestial pole does not remain at the same location. So you can just see it is changing. So maybe in 11,500 BC it was somewhere around Vega, and then it has moved near Hercules in 9000 BC, and then from maybe around 2800 to 2000 BC it was somewhere in Thuban, and now it is in Polaris. Okay, so this basically supported the concept of the ancient heaven, and then they started representing the circumpolar as a heaven. And then the interesting part is that we have something called a swastika in Hindu belief system, wherein they have this kind of picture. So if you refer the astronomy, it is nothing but the Ursa Major. So these are called as Saptarishis. So the Saptarishis circumambulates the central deity located. So if you refer again the ancient Ramayana verse, right? Dhruvam Sarve Pradakshinam. So it is meaning that all the constellations, Saptarishis, and then maybe Earth, Sun, Moon, and all the other sub deities, they move around the central circumpolar deities located in Shishumara or Kundalini Chakra. So as I mentioned earlier, right, we can also find the musical instrument, and then it's been associated with the goddess Saraswati, and then she is using the Vahana by name Cygnus. So you can just find the similar myths in even the Greeks, and then Haravati. H becomes S becomes H in Persian. So Saraswati is referred as Haravati in ancient Persian myths, and then similar thing we can find in Egyptian myth called as Hathor. Okay, so this is very interesting, wherein the people were very curious that they were very clear that the heaven is located in North Star, and then the entire zodiac and all the animals, sun, moon, everything circumambulates the central pole star. That's because of precision, and then they started calculating maybe the timing when the vernal equinox is happening, and then basically the Milky Way, right, which you normally see when during either in summer solstice and winter solstice, they identified it as in path of soul. So they identified it as a path of soul that actually supports them to move towards the heaven. So this way they were very curious that what's the way to reach heaven. So they identified stargates. So during summer solstice, the gate will be somewhere I'm locating here in Gemini, Cancer, Orion. So I'm just telling what the gates will be. And then the gate of God, right? So other side, wherein during the winter solstice for people in northern hemisphere, wherein sun rises at a very lowest point and then takes a rebirth somewhere near galactic center. So they thought that okay, that should be the gate of God, and then the gate of man is somewhere near Orion. So you can just find what was the gate. So to support this concept, right, we have this Egyptian pyramid as a beautiful example. I'll just take two Egyptian pyramids. Okay, so Egyptian pyramids or even maybe Hindu temples, what has been constructed even after BC, right? It's basically the mimic of night sky, wherein they have exactly seen the stargates. So what is the path to reach the heaven? So this is the night sky that I have still captured during summer solstice of 2800 BCE, wherein you can find the Leo constellation that acts as an heaven gate. Basically, they constructed the Sphinx here, and then that actually gives the path to the heaven. And then they just constructed a huge triangular type of structure, wherein the edge points to the pole star. That is called as Shushumara planetary system, or they would refer that as Eru or Hara god. And then the mummies, right? Maybe I'll just go to next slide. Okay, so this is what they are basically aligned. The Orion would be the soul of king, and then Isis it would be pointing to Sirius star, and then finally they unite, and then finally this is the place wherein they had a concept of God's rebirth, or the king moving, or king soul moving to the permanent indestructible location. So that's called as circumpolar location. So this is what the concept of pyramid. Maybe if you want to refer the previous one, you can just refer it. And then the beautiful thing is that as I just explained in the Bhagavata Puranam, right, it's clearly explaining that the Virata Purush or Hari is having the head downward, so as captured in Bhagavata. And then you can also find the Egyptian pyramids that was almost constructed in same time in 2800 BC when Tuban was the pole star. You can find the Draco or Shushumara with the head downward, and then you can just find the name, right? It's almost very similar. Heru, Hara, and in Hindu belief system, we have God by name Hari, basically Vishnu. So as I just mentioned, Sphinx 2000 acted as a stargate. That supported actually the heaven, the afterlife location for ancient Egyptians. Okay, so this actually has supported in later belief system or religious concept, wherein they finally have used the symbols of Draco, and finally pointing to the central circumpolar location. So most of time this cross, right, it will be the Cygnus constellation, and then Draco is guiding the path to heaven. So you can also find a similar thing in cosmic egg, and then even in Greek myths, Hermes god holding the path to the heaven. And then this is also a symbol of the medical system. Now you can find this Draco snake in Holy Cross. We can find the Ankh symbol, that was a key of life, wherein the afterlife location where it should be, and then again it is having the two snake serpent symbolism, and then pointing to the central pole star. You have something called as holy pavitram in Hindu belief system, and we also have the same concept of Trishul and then snake. This can also be found in Indus Valley Seal, when in two-headed serpent guiding and the tree of life. The tree of life again with the Draco. You can find similar thing in Mayan civilization, and then you can also find this in the ancient Naveli Kori figurines. We can find similar things in Sikka of Indo-Persian. Basically, Sikka was owned by even Egyptians, Persians, even Greeks. So basically, they wanted they wanted their mind to be concentrated near the god or maybe heaven. So this is where we call it as Sahasrara point in spirituality, wherein they wear this, and then the Sahasrara, the knotted, right? This place is represented as location of god. So it comes from the same ancient cosmology of Shishumara planetary system. And then Polestar is currently located in end of Ursa Minor, and you can also find this similar concept even in Buddhism. Basically, normally the mountains, right? We have something called as Kailash Mountain. We have something called as Hara Mountains. I'll just use the laser pointer here. Okay, so basically, when you see towards north and then observe the heaven or the Shishmara planetary system, it will normally be available on the tip of mountain. So they considered that this is where the god is located, and then this became a holy mountain concept. Even for Persian, they referred as Hara mountain, and then for them, this was a point wherein the heaven and earth unites. And then the Milky Way was basically referred as cosmic river. They have something called as Haravati river, which flows from high Hara mountain, and then finally it supports the agriculture and then the basic needs of people. So this supported the cultural concept. We have similarly called as Saraswati river. S becomes H here, and then it's almost same concept in Rig Veda. So it also supported the symbolic representation of Meru Chakra or Lingam, wherein they said that this is the cosmic union between Shiva and Shakti. And then you can clearly find the location of Yavan, the Big Dipper constellation circumambulating the central Kundalini Chakra. And then we have the Meru mountain concept. So these are some old ancient Buddhist scriptures wherein they just carved how the Meru looks and then location of God. And even the lingam concept, right? Maybe I can just show that was supported as navel of concept cosmos, that is the center of universe, wherein the all other planetary system like sun, moon, and then other constellations move around this mandala. So they got this as axis mundi or mandala concept, and then you can also find even in Greek religion wherein they are offering milk to a stone structure which was referred as center of cosmos. And then we have a similar concept in Hindu. They are just offering milk to lingam. And then this concept was also there in even in ancient Egyptians. So basically they aligned everything to North Pole star. Okay, so the end, maybe that does not stop only in religious. So finally, we had even the Atlantis concept, and then the Tree of Life concept. You can just find everything is related to same cosmology. So we have the famous Brihadeshwara temple. So here the temple structure itself becomes the mountain Shikara, and then the top one, right? It is called as Kalash in Hindu temple. So that represent the location of the Kundalini or heaven. So this is called as Dakshina Meru. It's located in South India. And then similarly, we have Angkor Wat. That's basically the exact mimic of Draco constellation, Shishumara constellation, which was constructed on for Vishnu, the god Vishnu. And then these are called as Meru Mountains. So finally, if you understand the cosmology, the edge here, it will be the pole star will be located here. And we also have most of the Samudra Manthan mythology, wherein the Milky Way was normally referred as ocean of milk. And then we have a fight between Devas and Asuras and Samudra Manthan. We also have similar concept as Atlantis. And then if you refer this Bal Gangadhar Tilak's book, right, Arctic Om in Vedas, so he has beautifully explained this cosmology and how the various myths were associated. Yeah. So thank you.